Moon getting control, getting a very good rune control and then making rotations to the side lanes. I think is probably going to be how SMG is looking to play here. So controlling rune is definitely the biggest something that the biggest focus that both teams are going to look at, because on the other side, Polaris, they do understand the biggest strength of the puck is to control the power rune. So they won't be giving it too easily towards Moon at all.
I think the best part right now is that those heroes aren't also heroes that can necessarily move around too much. At least they don't have those active spells that allow them to get those ganks off. It's slightly concerning, at least for the side of Team SMG. But we see this early smoke coming up from Polaris Esports. It's making sure that they get those deep visions down. Kind of a tame start from both teams.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are playing a little bit more carefully, because we are not seeing any kind of level 1 smoke into a wraparound smoke gang, any sort of these things. So, and on the other side, AU is already getting a successful reward there, so pretty good start for Polaris.
Definitely living this opening, but that's the respect you gotta give, right? And sure, even though we have those lower bracket runs, you don't want to be in that position, but look at all these rune contests, and that's something that I think Polaris will be willing to take. At least at this level 1 stage, I don't think SMG has much that they can do to keep Polaris away. So we see this very aggressive stance, grabbing at least 3 bounty runes for themselves. That's the start you want to look for.
Yeah, and Polaris understanding perfectly that there is no stuns coming up from SMG. Like, the Enigma is not going to get the level 1 Malefice at all, and Enigma has always been one of the weaker hero when it comes to the contest for Bounty Rune. So easily just manning up and get 3 for them. So pretty good start, especially to Lelouch, I would say, because Kunkka was this park. I would say slightly Kunkka favorite, because of the ability that you can spam out your Tribringer to harass the puck, and Kunkka in general is a pretty beefy hero, so I think this is going to make a pretty sizable difference for the mid lane.
We see how, and that's kind of one of the topics that we brought out right at the start of the draft, where we look at the Kunkka, we're like, yeah, there is that lane control, there's that lane pressure coming out from the members of Polaris right off the bat, and even though we have that Timber Saw, it feels like we're looking at a 1 against 2, 1 against 3 scenario, and it all falls down to, again, having the Timber Saw and the puck to potentially create the tempo and buy some space for the team. But bottom lane, Poloson gets that first split onto Xavius.
That was the last tick of the Shadow Word that actually got him there. So I didn't see what happened there, but I guess Poloson just ran him down and used the Shadow Word maybe twice on him. And that was very well done by Poloson. Rubik trying to pull waves against the Warlock, because against Warlocks it's always a very tough time to play into the fed up ones. But in this case, he opted for the Shadow Word and got a pretty good return from it. So very good stuff from SMG already. As you can see, Poloson just continuously spamming Shadow Words on the off lane.
And it's very hard for even Force it to do much, right? Sure, you have that Fate Bolt level 1 on Xavius, but this wave definitely in mid 1's favor, at least getting a very good time. And if there's any good news for Team SMG in this bottom lane, is that I don't think anyone can go down, not with this huge amount of healing coming up from both of those heroes.
Yeah, exactly. And I also wanted to touch a little bit on mid 1's item build as well, like Blaze of Attack starting item that is gonna give him a very fast phase split timing. So I like this a lot, and now he's going for the Chain Mill as well, so helping him sustain on the lane a little bit more to the right clicks coming out from Rubik and also Slada. That is a very smart item choice.
Does slightly negate the Fate Bolt effect from level 1 at least. You still lose a bit of damage, but you take any numbers that you can get.
Top lane.
With that being said, top lane, Masaros getting ran down. Does have the level 2 reactive armor. They're trying to cut him down, but of course he's a bit too beefy early on with the the circlet and double gauntlets of strength. That's more than enough to keep himself alive.
That was still a pretty good recognition coming out from Polaris, though, understanding that Masaris doesn't have Timber Chain, because he went for the Burning Death and also Reactive Furnace, so just put down a lot of harassment to him, forcing him to consume a salve is also pretty big. So Nasumi not going for the Aura of Venom, so maybe losing a little bit of value there, but I think it's pretty alright. Bloodseeker into Timbersaw is always a slightly more Bloodseeker favorite.
Yeah, he's not going to be worried too much at least. But bottom lane, we see a bit of a shift in that pendulum as Xavius gets a bit of revenge. And That's the power of the Slada. Just walks up, gets a couple of stuns off, and they actually have the damage to burst down this Warlock. Kind of resetting the tempo a bit. Mid one also taking some very big punishments from this Slada.
It seems like bottom lane is going to be the most action-packed lane out of all three lanes, because mid lane, as we see a lot of harassment on Moon, but technically speaking, you don't really die to a Kunkka, especially Kunkka, especially before Kunkka hit level 6. So I think Moon is playing pretty well as well, topping the CS chart, and it seems like all two lanes are just growing gradually and steadily.
Xavier has to commit suicide. It's just so annoying to do with the Shadow Word. Level 2 on the side of Polos, and even snatches the Water Rune away, so nothing for Lelouch. What SMG wants to go for is stop this tempo, take everything away from this Pirate. Also a good start. I mean, for SMG, at least this is kind of the even start. You don't want to let Polaris kind of get the lead, not with something like a Bloodseeker or a Chen. Keep yourself in the game, and it's just a bit surprising that the most volatile lane is the lane with the Rubik and the Warlock.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I think, there's always killing potential from both sides, so it really comes down to positioning and how are you playing the trade slightly better, because for Warlock side, you can always, count on your Feather Bonds to harass an enemy, but look at this, they're going on mid one.
Just get a stun, mid one, use the rage, gets bashed up, and those right clicks come true. Again, Xavier's this time gets the kill for himself again, so there's 2 for the Rubik.
And that is the thing about the Slada versus the Lifestealer. It's just, at one point, you are gonna get harassed down, and if you're not careful, the chain stuns coming out from Telekinesis and Bash, plus the W on Slada.
Moon doesn't have the phase shift, and unfortunately the silence didn't last long enough though. Still able to get out with the Illusory Orb. But that's a huge chunk of his HP taken out. Moon will be forced all the way back to base.
And this is also catapult timing as well, because if Lelouch chooses to push right now, they should be able to put in a lot of tier 1 damage. And Chan, you can see Chan is also moving towards the mid lane, and Xavier's is already here pretty early on. So this is Polaris' first tempo. They want to put down some tower damage here. Moon TPing back. Oh, he used the phase shift?
Oh, he used the phase shift. Tries to go for the silence again. It's the same modus operandi, but they have to live at this time. Moon still gets away. The jaunt lasts just enough. It's long enough for him to be safe. But again, there's a lot of resources used. He TP's in, has to use his bottle charges, and now this wave is just going to crash into that tier 1.
Yeah, they need to bring some heroes right now to defend this tower. They are going to use the Glyph first, and Polosens is already here. Meanwhile, while everything is happening in the mid lane, Force died at the bottom side as well, knowing that Rubik is not around, so they make a move to the Slada and got a very big punishment kill for them. And it seems like they should be able to defend this mid. Oh, the illusions coming in clutch to tank up some tower hits.
And the Chen even converted a creep just so they could put in more damage. And Afu is just level 3. This Enigma is not going to bring too much to the table, and that structure, it is collapsing really fast. So he was able to convert the catapult away to those islands. So that's one way to stop the siege, but that structure has taken so much punishment.
Yeah, I mean, Polaris is definitely super happy with this. They didn't need to commit much, and they nearly got the kill on the Puck as well. And right now, Puck is in a very awkward situation where he has no body charges to play with, and there's really not much killing opportunities at all on this Kunkka. Your 2 supports are Enigma and Warlock, so early game is definitely going to be very, very slow coming from SMG here.
And that's also one of the talking points that you brought up. That, the speak ultimates, but what are the supports going to do? They run around the map, sure, but those spells don't really contribute. At least when it comes to kill pressure, it feels like Polaris, they do have a bit more. Some attempt to put pressure onto Natsumi, just push him back. Masaru was doing Timber Saw things. But I think this Bloodseeker is really happy with the state of the game right now. He's not really dying, he's not afraid of anything. And the Kunkka is forcing the rest of Team SMG to make those moves around the map.
Yep. And this is where SMG identifying that, alright guys, mid lane is not so much of an advantage that we can play for, so let's not play around the mid lane, let's go, let's play around our strongest hero, which is Timbersaw right now. So you can see that Afu is already using these Eidolons to take down the top tower, and for Polaris, they would rather prioritize on taking down this mid tower than defending their top lane, which is completely correct, because they are getting a free mid one tower right now, and it's always worth it for this kind of trade.
And especially against a draft like Team SMG where Afu wants the jungle, wants to get those items as disposed for. And now this entire jungle is open up. It not only affects him, but also the rest of that team. When this Lifestealer, they're really not the best hero to go for those jungle power farming routine. And now you have your jungle constantly threatened by the members of Polaris. And you can see the presence on that bot side. So pretty heavy early on. They can just put this Bloodseeker to hold one lane. They give AU the mid lane. Everything working well so far. As Moon TPs into the bot. They want to look for something. And the ship just completely crashes into thin air.
Oh, that was such a good defensive ops coming out from Polos and right there, just scouting all the movements coming out from Polaris. And to be honest, you know, making a move on Lifestealer is not easy. You need to hit the torrent into the boat frame perfectly. Oh, Slaughter, he's gonna fall.
Yeah, it's gonna be the case. The explosion from the infest, more than enough. Pushing this tower is another thing. Still no big ultimates up yet from the side of Team SMG, so we haven't seen the power of this Black Hole plus Golems. Lose again, looking for the torrent. This time gets it, but no boat to follow up. So the best he can do is to push mid one out of that lane. But with that Shadow Word, this Lifestealer will be back in no time.
Yeah, that was such a good rotation coming out from Nana. It was very patiently done as well. Like he TP'd down, hit in the trees, and waited for the best opportunity and timing for him to go on to the Slaughter. And this is where it's so important because you want to force the Slaughter out of the lane. You want to make sure that he's not just sitting on the lane and zoning out mid one, because at this point, mid one doesn't want to go in the jungle or top lane.
Okay,
making a move on Chan.
Converts an Eidolon, but you know, 2 is better than 1 as Masaros shows up, gets lifted away. Natsumi is also joins the fray. But again, no kills. At least Polaris can't find any. Afu TP's out. Masaros should be fine on his own. And his team SMG kind of weathered the storm a bit, now forcing Polaris to move movements. And then early on you say, you know, it's a good idea that Polaris takes down the mid tier 1, but now you have Masaros just running rampant in that side lane. And I think that's kind of a point of consideration if you are on the side of Polaris Esports.
Yeah, at this point, Polaris just doesn't have too much damage for the Team Vessel. And Masaros identifying it very perfectly as well. Not going for Hood, not going for Vanguard, knows any, you know, tanky items at all. He's going straight into the use because he understands that the only thing that can catch him is a silence from right and also the X-Smart combo coming out from Kunkka. So as long as you are able to, you know, get away from all these things, you are good to be on the map. And use is the best item for you to do so. So very good read coming out from Masaros. After all, he is the Team Vessel master, right? Level 25 on Team Vessel, so definitely understanding what will keep him alive here.
Yeah, they definitely are trying to look for some info. Start off with Masaros from mid lane. Able to steal the orb away, just jaunt and phase shift enough to bring Moon to safety. Just like old times, so far they have not been able to catch this elusive puck. Moon doing a fantastic job of surviving on the map.
Yeah, it's very awkward. Oh, hold on, because bottom lane.
Again, Koi Force up, he's leash, meet one, just man fights him. Wants to go for the explosion on that creep, but realizes he doesn't even need it. AU just a bit too late to the party. No hand of God to save this Slaughter.
Yeah, right now SMG, they are reading the move coming out from Polaris very well. And that's simply because Masaros, he has been buying so much information on the top lane. So whenever no one is making a move on Masaros, SMG know that the rest of them are at bottom side.
And there we go, mid one shows up and he's like surprised. Drops the golem from his teammate as well. Only getting a Rubik though. It's more than enough. Again, just making Polaris make those responses. They're really abusing Polaris at this stage. And at the meantime, Afu is just slowly chipping away at this mid tier 1 with his Eidolons.
Yeah, I like that he's not having any hesitation on dropping the golem as well, because right now SMG, they're not in any rush to push, you know, the tempo of the game. So all they want to do is to slow down, play out this extended laning phase. And as you can see, mid one has been just sitting at the bottom lane forever. He's not looking to move at all. He understands that as long as he defends this bottom tower, it will be good for him. It will be very, very painful for the progression of Polaris because they are the one on the timer here, because they are fighting into the Anima and also the Warlock, right? So they are on the pressure on doing things.
Uh-oh.
Which is why making rotation to top lane.
Finally found Afu, and this time not even a Black Hole can save him. Force finally getting something in return after getting pressured so much down bot. But we see Polaris kind of being the first team that kind of moves into the jungle, and it feels slightly different from what we expected early on. And I say that Poloson is caught in the dire jungle, not where he wants to be, but Shadow Word will buy a bit of time. Lose will still chop him down.
It might not be too bad actually, because at the end of the day, you are forcing a 70-second goal shift coming in from Kunkka. So there is a 1 minute timing for SMG to actually do whatever they want on the map. Because the only catch from Polaris right now is the X mark into boat. So without that, they will be able to push out lanes very aggressively. And maybe not, they're even going for a smoke right now between Afu and Nana.
And you know, at the and by the time the golem comes back, the ship will be available as well. But SMG will have a big ultimate to work with. Assuming gonna use up into the air and the rupture up Masaros, but he will be coiled down. It should be enough damage, more than sufficient from Moon.
Moon has been owning this game absolutely by himself. All these rotations are, the conversion rate of his rotations are very, very high so far. And this is kind of something that Polaris, you know, you want the Kunkka to be matching the rotation for the puck, but Lelouch hasn't been able to do so. And he's actually going into the big KB himself as well. So you can tell that they are looking to, you know, just pick up this very early BKB and try to force team fights coming out from SMG. Even Slada is going for early BKB, not going for MOM, not going for the dagger. I'm not sure if this is something that you want, but they have already opted for it.
Does look a bit concerning. Well, Xavier's, yeah, just gets stunned up by the Malefice, but you know, the Eidolons run out. But it is a bit concerning, right? You go for those BKBs, and then SMG looks at it, and then they go like, yeah, well, we have two ultimates that just blow through your BKB. You know, have fun dealing with our Black Hole, have fun dealing with our Golems. A lot of ways to nullify the effectiveness of this item that, and once those cooldowns go down, once the duration goes down, it's gonna be even more harder for Polaris to get anything done. And in this case, AU can't even get away. They just drop the golden on him, why not? Mid one is on a killing spree those far.
Yeah, once again, man, Polaris is not afraid to dropping this, you know, long cooldown golem, because the way you drop it, you get a kill, you stop the aggression coming up from enemy, and you also can use the golem to get some information or to farm a little bit as well. But in this case, he's dropping his golem towards the Lelouch, but the information that you bought is that the two cores are in the triangle. So all of a sudden, look at Afu in the top lane. He's making a move because of this information.
Yeah, and Afu's, we have not seen a single Black Hole just yet. So you don't have the golem, but you still have Afu, and it's more than enough. And Xavier's this time, I don't think he'll be that lucky. They don't need Eidolons for him. They just need a couple of heroes. And of course, Afu gets the credit. 3,000 goal advantage for Team SMG. 16 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, right now SMG, they are just a lot more efficient in terms of rotations. You know, this one you have to give a big shout out to Moon. He's again doing a fantastic job in directing the aggression, and you can see that the entire game so far, Polaris, they are running at the tail of the SMG. You know, everywhere Moons goes to, he's gonna get a kill, and then the rotations coming out from Polaris is always a little bit late. So it feels like SMG, even though they are running a very, very greedy lineup, but still, they are kind of directing the game, of the pace of the game, and this is not supposed to be how, you know, this is not supposed to be the outlook of this game.
Yeah, they are running a greedy lineup, and on top of that, they have to go lead, right? So that really says a lot of what SMG has been getting. And ever since that tier 1 mid fell on their side, it really didn't, you know, feel like Polaris is achieving too much. Lelouch finally shows up bot, but early on we did see a scan for Team SMG, so they know that someone was there from the very beginning.
Top lane?
Well, this time they dropped the Black Hole for Xavier's. Okay, there's no bars hold. Doesn't matter, just use the big ultimate to get a kill and get the job done.
Again, SMG, they are very, very smart in using their cooldowns, and once again, they're going for Slaughter. This time is Coil.
Afu shows upstairs and force a bit of the premonition of his death, 33 seconds without a Slaughter. And the TPs from Polaris, all too responsive, but all a bit too late.
Yeah, I feel like there might be a chance that Polaris, they are, you know, regretting a little bit on their BKB purchases, because you are not having the Blink Dagger to punish the puck. You are not having Orchid on Kunkka to punish the puck. So all of a sudden, you are a little bit clunky on the map. Because all you have to do is run at puck, and he's gonna be able to dodge the X-Mark combo with the phase shift, and now he has use as well. So this puck, he's not gonna die at all.
They missed kind of their window to kill him early on. You know, they had a couple of chances, didn't get it done, and now SMG will be rewarded with this. Roshan Lelouch pops the BKB, goes right in, trying to get something done. No steal comes through for Lelouch, and now he has to be forced to run away. They pop the Hand of God, the Rupture is activated from Natsumi just to buy a bit of time. Masaros won't be able to follow out, at least for now. Now they drop the Torrent, they steal the Chakra. Masaros down low, lift him now, prevent the whirling death, well, prevent the chains, in fact. Drops him down into the Blood Rite, kills him off. And Lelouch survives that as well.
Who's green?
Once he goes into a bash, as Frost was waiting for him on the high ground this entire time, Polaris gets 2.
Oh, I jinxed Moon too hard right there. I'm saying that he wouldn't be able to die, and then he ran into a first hit bash. I mean, that is something that you won't be able to see coming too much, man. Like, this is something that, you know, is a little bit hard to prevent, but yeah, it was two very good kills coming up for Polaris, something that have been waiting for so long. But for the other side, you also have Team SMG securing a very early Aegis as well, so all is good for them. You know, we keep saying that they are running the more greedier lineup, and now that you have the Aegis, you are taking away the acceleration coming up from Polaris. I think we are super happy with that, even though you had to drop 2 heroes for it.
But I feel like on Polaris' side, they are also happy that they got 2 kills. They, you know, they reduced that goal advantage from the side of Team SMG, and they also got the golem out from Team SMG, right? So that it feels like, sure, they have the Aegis, but at least Polaris gets a bit of buffer for themselves to work with, and that buffer has kind of been the focal point of what Polaris needs to capitalize on, and now they've gotten it for themselves. We'll see what they can do with it, and so far it seems like it's back to farming for all these core members of Polaris. They still need those resources to come online.
Yeah, there's a very interesting item concept coming out from mid 1 as well. This is probably the earliest nullifier that I've seen in pro match. He got it at 18 minutes.
Yeah,
so it's gonna apply dispel, so you should be able to dispel a lot of the buffs coming out from Chan. And the best thing about Nullifier right now is that it applies through BKB.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know, good luck trying to man fight him right now. It's be even harder. And see, meanwhile, he just doesn't care. He's just gonna constantly go for the push. Like you say, he has the Aegis, so he's not worried at all. He has to rage, and that's gonna keep him safe. This entire team built around mid 1, letting this lifestealer go berserk on the enemy team, and even though they're under vision, it really felt like if push comes to shove, Team SMG has the resources to fight this. The Black Hole has already come back online. Golem is 30 seconds away. They are more than happy to intercept any form of aggression that Polaris wants to throw at them.
Yeah, it seems like Polaris would like to take on the fight though, because look at the heroes, they are all hanging around. And Chan was doing a very good job using his summons units to push out the bottom side. Now that he has, you know, summoned it all back to him, so it's a sign of them wanting to force the fight here. They have 2 BKBs right now. Actually 3, even Blistica has completed his BKB, so this is definitely the time that Polaris want and are probably dying for a fight. And it was very smart that SMG didn't go on to finish off the tier 2 tower, because they understand that, alright, no, there's no one showing the map that tells us that Polaris would like to take a fight, so let's not give them the fight, and let's keep scaling.
Yeah. We are gonna skill regardless, right? And we have those big ultimates. So time is definitely not of the essence if you're a fan of Polaris Esports right now. And they were just trying to play off of that vision that they got in that jungle, but it really seemed like that didn't really bear fruits, and SMG tears down their bot tier 1. The last one on the side of Polaris. Now it seems, you know, the age is still 1 minute and 15 seconds on the board, but Team SMG are actively taking control over this jungle. Yeah,
I really like Mid-1's itemization as well, going for Assault Cuirass right now. So all 3 items that he had brings him some sort of armor, and now he's sitting at 34 armor, and that is going to mitigate a lot of physical damage coming out from Slaughter.
Golden drop, Masaros walks in. No follow-up from the side of SMG though, the team chains also don't connect. And Polaris completely runs away, wants to buy out the cooldown, but it seems like Force is the one that has been caught. Chakram slowing him down just by a bit. And again, SMG just could not find any follow-up to finish off members of Polaris Esports.
Ideally, I mean, in a word, it should be a very good... Oh, hold on! Black Hole instantly on Rubik.
So both big ultimates on the side of SMG use. Let's see if Polaris can get anything out of this, right? They want Afu, but it's a bit too late. The Torrent doesn't connect regardless. Afu makes it out with his life. Team SMG continues this global pressure. And all things considered, it's only a 2k goal advantage, right? And we thought that it could have been more. And now Force pops his own BKB, turns around, tries to beat Masaros to death, stuns him now with the Crush, Blood Right Ship. All coming true, but he has to use. He's coming back into a first hit bash, locked in place. And even Masaros himself could get out of this. Natsumi brings him down for 50 seconds. And now Mid-1
wants to
shows
fight.
up, and he really wants to get things done. He really wants to at least bring someone down, and now the Hand of God's out first. Natsumi has a nullifier on him, mid-run pops the rage, and again the first hit bash onto Moon. This time not able to get away. Well, actually he does. He kills off Natsumi with a waiting rift and gets away with the illusory orb, but now mid-one is left to dry and he does not have the Aegis with him, so mid-one forced to man fight. This one goes for the mega kill streak, brings down Force, brings down Lelouch, double kill for the Life Stealer.
Oh, that was so well done by Moon. He was just one hit away from dying actually, but he uses the Electric Orb instantly into Use Scepter and then connected to the joint. So he was actually able to get out, and then he's getting healed to full right now thanks to the Warlock. So all of a sudden, this is the power of Warlock, right? You win a team fight where everyone survives your silver HP, and all of a sudden after 10 seconds you are full. Thanks to the Shadow Word.
And he even got one hit bash, right? We saw the same thing from Force. Bashes the puck, but they just did not have the damage to clean him up. The mid one doesn't need the Aegis at this point. He is the Aegis himself. He can accelerate that assault. Kuras, bot tier 2 collapses under the weight of mid one. 5K
And that's the thing. And that's the thing about having a Life Stealer. And all of a sudden you are making another move because of the infest. So all this pressure is coming in non-stop from SMG. They're playing their draft really, really well.
Mid one has a lot of modes of transportation. You know, he has Masaros to swing him around trees with the timber chains. He has Moon is his free Uber ride. And Masaros this time is not gonna get caught. He has learned his lesson. Seriously, once more goes on to Xavier's. He's gonna force out the Glimmer Kit. Mid one again leading the charge. We see that a Pivo use. Mid one gets the rupture on him.
Oh, the Ghost Ship's coming.
The Ghost Ship comes in, negated by the rage. Polaris, it feels like they're really itching to get something done, but look at mid one. He's just standing there. You know?
Just stands there, you know, when the danger is coming, just stands there and stare right at them. You know, that's how you fight against the bears, how to fight against beasts, and that's exactly what he did. Even asking for a high five as well.
Yeah, 100% a bait. Anyone who takes that high five dies. I feel like the rest of SMG are not so kind. They would jump. So now the goal lead again extended to 7,000. This game, definitely in SMG's control, but you know, on the Polaris side, what is the next course of action? What do they do to stop this?
I feel like you really need to give, you know, some space for Force to get his dagger, because he's running around with BKB right now. He's not really hitting creeps, and it is just a little bit awkward for them because your biggest playmaker is not having the resources or map to play for. And on the other side, look at them. They're so afraid of any kind of jumps coming off SMG. Just staying together all the time.
Well, we're gonna try to get something done onto Masaros, but he's a timber chain and a use. Again, just you can't do anything if you're on the side of Polaris right now.
Yeah, you really need to get the Slada to have his dagger. That's the only way you can reliably kill anyone. That's the only way that can reliably set up any kind of
Moon.
chain stance. Oh, Moon, look at that.
He breaks the entirety of the smoke. Wow, Baron so much, but they might as well broke everything. He's gonna use himself up. The golem drops down, lands onto 2, and now we see the rupture onto Masaros again. They steal the timber chain away. Moon comes in, gets a big core into a black hole. The hand of God will not do anything this time. They get rid of Xavier. He instantly buys back, and now the ship comes out. They run down the Enigma, but it's a split fight. Lelouch and Natsumi tries to go after the Warlock. Both supports go down. A double kill for the Bloodseeker, but Masaros is still alive, and here comes big bad mid one. And they get the stolen Chakram used on Masaros. Try to get away. Moon again disrupt the back line. He's gonna try to man fight Force. Gets bashed, but still takes him out with the Witchblade. And at the end of it, it feels like Team SMG are the one who wins this one. They're gonna use up Natsumi. He has the Blood Ripe, but mid one just chills through this Bloodseeker. 70 seconds without the Bloodseeker, and Xavier's, even with the stolen orb, is not gonna be able to outrun the rightful owner of that skill, and that guy is Moon. Glimmer Cave's gonna keep him alive, but Masaros, yeah, he's a lumberjack. As Xavier gets chopped 70 seconds without the Rubik.
Oh, that fight, it started so well by Moon, just having awareness to break the smoke standing on the high ground. And, you know, ironically got silenced, so he baited Polaris to fight in the very, very bad situations. And all of a sudden, Warlock dropped a golem that got stuck in the high ground, but it was the golem that gave them all the vision that they need. If they didn't have the golem on the high ground, they would have given the Enigma the vision for him to come in with 3-man black hole. So all things considered, it was actually a pretty good golem to have on the cliff. So.
I feel like they thought of that way ahead, right? I felt like, you know, like when the golem was dropped, and And everyone was like, wait, what is that golem? And then they realized, oh wait, that was the golem that won us the fight. The wonders of the game. It's just
I mean, Dota is just a very beautiful game where sometimes a mistake, assault, quote unquote mistake happen, but it could also turn into something beautiful.
It's not a mistake if it works, that's always the
true.
logic. Yeah,
That's actually a big brain play.
that is giga brain. I don't think anyone would have thought of that, right? Like normally if you drop a golem on the cliff, that's a report. Like no one has ever seen a golem drop on a cliff and say good job. SMG has broken that one for sure. And in fact,
right
I think that war stays alive longer, right? You don't kill it in like 2 hits, so that's something.
Yeah, it stays for the entire duration actually. Yeah, no one's gonna stand there and try to 1 versus 1 with the golem. That being said, bottom lane.
It's Moon against Natsumi, and Moon just dances around this guy.
Yeah, knowing that there's no way for him to stop the BKB TP, so he's not gonna commit any spells on Natsumi. Natsumi is gonna get away, and this is where Polaris, that's the beauty of SMG, right? Like, when you are getting this kind of late, it doesn't matter if you keep blowing up your big cooldown spells. Because even though you blow up one black hole, there's also Golem that's sitting right behind it. There's also, and vice versa. And not to mention that everyone on SMG is rather hard to kill, besides the Warlock. So it's so hard for Polaris to, find their chances to break through this game, to break through the vulnerability of SMG.
We have so many layers on SMG's side, and that off of that one fight, in a couple of farms later on, 18,000 gold lead. That's a full set of racks on the top lane as well. So Polaris suddenly finds himself in this predicament where you have, mid one just bashing on your mid tower. We actually see the Kunkka trying to go for the Hex, but not sure if he can reach in time though. I think he might have enough gold for it.
This is gonna be the last fight for them. He does not have buyback, so if he dies here, it's gonna be at least 1 set of racks. And it seems like they might want to go to force the fight. And this is a very important information for SMG as well. Knowing that he has completed the Hex, it means that there's no buyback. So if in the fight they manage to get to commit onto the Kunkka and burst him down, that would be such a big advantage for them to end the game.
The dagger finally out as well. So you have dagger, you have Hex. Polaris finally getting that timing, and you can see smoke from both sides. For SMG, it's all about getting things done. They come in with the stun and the Hex and drop out the spell, the golem, the black hole, and SMG just layers it.
Stolen black hole?
The stolen black hole from the Xaviers! They go for the control, they go for the counter, and the Xaviers putting that Rubik to use. Aegis pop, mid one comes back, wants to go for the fight. They get the Dream Coil for Moon. They really want to beat this Kunkka to death, and of course they do just that. AU next on the chopping block, and Moon jumps to the back line, forces to stay on top of him. Blinks away.
What is stolen coil?
Xaviers is doing a fantastic job at keeping SMG controlled. They have weathered the storm, and that is the best case scenario. But mid one feels like it's not done just yet, and Moon also wants a piece of the pie. Goes on top of AU. Force comes in, blinks in to try and protect AU, and they do exactly that. The cliff will be used.
Oh, Moon is buying so much time for lifesteal. He was getting ruptured the entire duration. He was just standing still, while Moon is basically dancing on 4 man. And this has created so much space when you want to actually go on and finish off the racks. And now Moon is going in again, abusing the fact that there's not much reliable stuns that can bring down the puck. And he also has the the Eon disassembled in his inventory. So,
and there's a refresher. It's a refresher on Poloson. He finds another golem again. First hit bash. They want to get rid of Moon, but Moon is too quick. This fairy dragon is unkillable. Or at least he's untouchable.
Wait, how did Warlock get to refresher up? This is actually insane. Arcane build refresher up in what 32 minutes as opposed to 5? That's a very jack Warlock.
Yeah, it's super jack. Maybe there's sometimes, like they win those team fights, those minor team fights. Actually, since he has already made one big brain play, I'm gonna up the ante. I think he's been making big brain plays the whole game. Remember when he drops the golem just for support? Yeah, he actually wants to farm with the golem, right? That could be one of the ways he gets there.
Well, yeah, definitely. So yeah. Chen not as lucky, not getting the luxury that the Warlock has at all. Like so far, it's a Grandmaster tier Chen, but it feels like also something that Chen brings is that you are a little bit clunky, right? You don't have the kind of flashy or instant initiation. Oh,
they're gonna try again. Mid one so low, the golem as a counter. Mid one destroyed for 80 seconds. Polaris finding the opportunity to go for the bash. The Torrent does not connect. The USK Masaro's alive for now. The rolling death, so much damage, but it's not enough. But Moon gets a 4-man Dream Qual. The Witchblade ticks them now. The Waiting Rift comes through as Moon Wicked with double kill. Comes back out for the phase shift, gets hexed up. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. There's Sumi that cuts him down. A triple kill for the Bloodseeker, and Polaris once more holds their doorstep.
Man, I can tell you that Moon is owning this entire game, but there's one thing he's dying to are the bashes. And this time, is coming from the bash from Bloodseeker. Like, he was so close in taking down the Bloodseeker until the bash came in. But yeah, nevertheless, you know, it was a very, very good initiation coming out from Polaris to bring down Lifestealer before they can pop anything. They know that the black hole is on cooldown, so they don't have to worry about this, you know, big counter initiation. Even if they do, there's always the Rubik that's behind their back, you know, waiting to steal the black hole. So it's not that easy for SMG to protect mid one, and they, you know, Polaris managed to do so. Now they probably just have to do another 4 times, and they'll be back into the game.
Yeah, sounds about right, you know. So we've seen it. We've seen it 2 times. In fact, it all started when Xavier stole 2 big ultimates. You know, that black hole steal was incredible. Nasumi doesn't find Pholoson in time. But you know, the good news for Team SMG is that they have broken 2 sets of racks, so Polaris will always have to constantly deal with those. You know, the top and the mid lane. But you know, it seems like the last 2 fight did give them a bit of confidence to restore control to their own jungle, to kind of push out, get those items online, and we are finally seeing the impact of that sight from this Kunkka.
Yeah, definitely. And also you need to look out for Rubik as well. Like, Xavier has been owning this game too, like with the stolen coil, with the stolen black hole. The more time you take to end this game, the more item Rubik is gonna get. And now he's going for the Aghanim's already, so he might have a chance to steal both the Golem and the Black Hole, and that's gonna totally change the team fight.
So I saw this. So speaking about that, I actually saw this video. You know those Dota meme videos where this guy played Rubik, had an axe, and he stole Rolling Thunder and a Freezing Field. So he activates Freezing Field and he just rolls in the enemy team and kills all of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely the beauty of Rubik in this current patch. I wish you could have seen more of this, to be honest, because nowadays we don't really see Rubik too much because of the patch, I guess. But let alone seeing a Rubik that is able to steal so many spells. And even have Aghanim's to start with, right?
And I think Team SMG kind of pushed Polaris to that direction, which is something that they would like, but here
Of
comes the
course.
spell, all broken. At least the crucial ones are. They do not see Afu just yet, but they sure as heck saw Moon and Masaro, so that's front line of Team SMG reveal. It'll Lelouch getting gone on with a nullifier. They can't get him out. Afu blinks in with the Malefice, and this is the guy that needs to go down. Constantly bash, finally get to pop the BKB, and now the Golem drops into a black hole. Hand of God used. Where's Xavier's? We're looking for him in black hole. It actually catches Moon, but the Golem drops down. The A on these pops. Moon goes to the backline again to buy some time as Force gets chopped down by Masaros. And this time, even the Grand Magus Xavier's will not be able to save the game. Moon comes in with the coil onto Natsumi, and Masaros just a backstrange chakram for the kill. No buyback for the Bloodseeker for 100 seconds. And Team SMG milking this one. Taking the last set of racks as Mega creeps inbound. Xavier's also might not find a way out. He did have the stolen Timber Chain, but Moon knows when to play it safe and knows when to play it slow.
Oh, they want to go into the they want blood.
And it really feels like SMG has really gotten this. Of course, you gotta pet that KD a bit. How many hits does it take to kill mid one? Answer, a Hex. That doesn't even go down. Muniz is right out. That's a 5-star Uber review. GG comes in, Polaris drops. Game 1, SMG with a commanding lead.
Such a convincing game coming out from SMG. I would say that they played their draft completely. You know, they had such a good understanding of the draft and they played it and executed perfectly. You know, we are just seeing this Golem dropping multiple times at bottom lane. We are seeing Black Hole dropping multiple times at top lane. And all these are just for them to buy time and stop the tempo coming out from